My name is Kayla, and this is Kayla Makes It. This is a podcast where I like to talk about all things that I knit and crochet and, sew, cross stitch, all that good stuff, although there's very little of that in here, mostly knitting and crochet. You can find me on Ravelry as Kayla1Pearl1. I am also over on TikTok as Kayla Makes It Podcast, and let's see, we're on YouTube. What's the other thing? Instagram. I am Kayla Makes It on Instagram. So go check me out over there. I do post kind of most often over there, and I try to update weekly over here on YouTube. So this week it is, today is Monday, March 10th, I believe. And I actually have some finished objects, like plural. I have finished objects. Even though I had a very busy weekend, we had family in town to see the baby, and I did some cleaning to prepare the house because my life and house is a mess. It looks better now, but yeah, so pretty busy, but I actually got some knitting done and some crochet. So let's go ahead and get started so I can show you. I did not write down any notes, so I might be a little all over the place this episode, but bear with me. So first off, I finished my niece's socks. I love them. I love how they turned out. Now I've got them on my smallest sock blockers, and you can see the shape of the sock blocker there. And the heel is not quite that big to comfortably fit on here, so it slides down, but you can still get an idea of how they look. I am like extremely happy with these. This is the third pair of socks that I've knit ever in my life, and I did a pretty good job this time. They actually match. Well, I guess I can't say that it's a good job until my niece has tried them on. So after this video, I'm going to go over to her house. They don't know I'm coming yet, but I'm going to go over to her house and be like, hey, I have your socks, and have her try them on. And if she's cool with it, then I'll record her. At the very least, then I'll like record her putting them on her feet, and so we can see how good of a fit they are. So she's already seen them, like, because I brought them to my nephew's basketball games and stuff like that. So she's seen me working on them, and she's approved of the color combination. She chose the color combination, but she has already seen them knit up together. And it's a great choice. Like, I had so much fun working with this pair. It's a beautiful contrast and so fun. Yeah, she did a great job picking the colors. So the yarn I used, the main color is Neon Nights sock yarn from Arcane Fibre Works, and this is the first time that I've knit something with theirs. I have several skeins or hanks of their yarn. Can't wait to use it again. Highly recommend. Nice and soft. I don't know much about the wear of it just yet because this is the first I've used it, so hopefully they hold up pretty well. I can already tell by knitting these up that it's probably going to hold better than this. Like, I already see this getting fuzzy and splitty in areas, whereas this is just, it's really nice so far. And I love the way it pooled, like the sort of like zebra stripes going on. I think that is so fun. And then the contrasting color that I use for this is Universal Yarn sock yarn in neon orange, and I got it in like a tiny little skein, and I have a couple more here in different colors, but this is what it looks like. Uni Merino Mini is what it's called, the neons. And this one should be neon yellow. Yeah, and so the color that I use for these socks is neon orange. I also have, I don't think this one has a color. I think it's just, oh, it's called Angelfish. Huh, that's so cool. It is looking more magenta on the camera. This one is more purple than what it's showing. Trying to get it in different lighting in the shade. That's kind of more like it. But anyway, so like it wasn't so bad that I'm not going to use these. Like I think they'll be just fine, but I had to be careful not to split my yarn and all that good stuff. So that's the 2 yarns that I use for this, and I did a size small. My granddaughter's not very happy right now. We just want to all walk. The weather is so nice right now, and we took her for a walk in the stroller, and she loved it. She was like cooing the whole time and just excited, kicking her legs. I did a size small in the Crazy Sock Lady tutorial here on YouTube for the 9-inch circulars. So far I've liked to use 9-inch circulars, and I use the 32-inch circular when I get to the toe. I do that instead of double pointed needles, just because I feel like I can hold on to my stitches a little better on the 32-inch. What else do I want to say about these? So I did the size small, and I did everything to the pattern, no other modifications. I think I did 50 rounds here before I got to the toe. And I think I did 60 on the leg, and 10 or 12, I can't count that very well, 10 or 12 on the cuff, and I did a 2x2 rib on that. I like the 2x2 rib better than the 1x1 that I've done on my previous socks. So if I am able to get some footage of my niece with these socks, I will go ahead and insert that footage here so you can see it. But I think that it turned out so great. I'm so pleased. So pleased with how these turned out. I think I need smaller sock blockers. Love it. Okay, so the other finished object, oh, actually I wanted to show this. Isn't this just the coolest paper bouquet that you've ever seen? My daughter got these on Valentine's Day from one of her good friends, and I was just so thoroughly impressed. She's like a great artist. Look at the shading on that with markers. That's kind of hard to do. And I think those look like eyeballs, like a green and blue iris. They're just, and red. They're just so pretty. So shout out to Sophie. She did an awesome job, and immediately I asked Ainsley, I was like, can I show that on my podcast? Like, that is so cute. She did such a great job. It's so pretty. I love it. Okay, so now that I've shown this, I'm gonna give it back to my daughter to put on display in her room. She's got such good friends. Okay, the other finished object is a scarf that I made for one of my friends at work. It is one of the gifts, like a birthday gift, because remember the birthday box thing I have going on if you've watched before. If you're new, last year, which I know it's 2025 and this was a 2024 commitment, but I'm a little bit behind, and that's okay. It was kind of a big undertaking, and I'm chipping away at it. I'm actually almost done. I think I have maybe like 4 more things to make, so it's not too bad. But every month, whoever's birthday it is will get a birthday box, and everybody puts a little something in there. Well, I put in coupons for everybody to choose something for me to make them, and it's just something small, like a hat, a scarf, you know, a washcloth set, a kitchen towel, that sort of thing. Small amigurumi. It doesn't matter as long as it's like within that realm. And one of my friends chose a gray scarf to match her coat. Well, normally I work with really small yarn. Like, I think I have 3 hanks of chunky yarn up there. And then I got 2 of worsted when it comes to this yarn. I do have more in my other stash, which is like the commercially made and dyed yarn, like from Joann's, RIP. And Hobby Lobby, Michaels, and such. Not much bulky, like none. Well, I have a little bit. I have plans for like a hoodie, but nothing else. But I felt like I wanted to work with some chunky yarn, so I did go buy a couple of skeins of like size 7 super bulky yarn to make a scarf. And so I made this. It's thin. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make it any wider, but I like this size because I feel like if I went too much more, then it would really get in the way when you're trying to wear it. And this way I feel like you could still kind of do this number. And I think that that would fit nicely around the neck. And I didn't use a pattern. It didn't take long at all because it's super big yarn. But it's an acrylic yarn, and it is Yarn Bee Uber Luxe in medium gray. And I pretty much use all of the 2 skeins, and you get 200 grams per skein. It's 100% acrylic, and I lied. It is number 6 super bulky, not 7, which calls for a PQ crochet hook. I did use something a bit smaller. Honestly, can't remember what I used. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. I think I used an L or an M. Do we have L's and M's? Or an N? I didn't use a P or a Q. Because I wanted it tight enough that like not a lot of air can really get through. Yeah, so this is what I got. I am done despite these hanging down. I don't have ends to weave in. I have weaved in the ends, and then when I joined the skeins, I didn't tie a knot. I just picked it up with the new yarn and kept crocheting, and then I weaved in each of those in the opposite direction. And what I plan on doing, because I don't like the look of knots, or and like here on the ends, I'm afraid this is going to, like, it's already starting to unravel a little bit, and I'm afraid since it's so large and it's not like super tight in here where it's woven in, I'm afraid it's going to come loose. So what I'm going to do is get some gray thread, which I have in my stash, I'm sure, and I'm going to go in here and stitch this a little bit where I know that it's woven under, and then I'll cut the extra. And so then I'm going to do it down here with these, and then at this end where I started, just so it's more secure. And I don't think you'll be able to see the stitches, and you know, I'll back stitch and everything so it holds it in nice and tight. And yeah, so hopefully that will work. Obviously I haven't done it yet, haven't tried it, but we'll see. I think it will look nice. And like I said, I didn't use a pattern, but I did front loop and back loop only depending on which direction I was going, so that I could get these ridges. The back of it is nice and smooth and plain, which also looks very nice. But then this side, you've got the ridges, which I thought looked nice. So obviously I went back and forth lengthwise, and I didn't measure it, but this is how long it ends up being. So if I stand up, it's down to my waist. So I think that's a pretty good length. Yeah. So I do have this mostly finished. I will sew in those little ends, and then we'll get going. I can gift this, and then that'll be another one of my gifts off my to-do list. I will show my daughter's playing the tuba. I will show the Yeti hat. I haven't done a whole lot more on this, And I didn't mark where I was last working on this either, so I can't show much progress. I will say that other yarn that I just used, it's acrylic, it's very soft, but it does have a lot of fuzzies. So just be prepared. Like I had it out, I got some in my mouth. I had it out and touched my black leggings just now, and there's a lot of fuzz on it. So just be prepared if you use that yarn that it will shed a little bit. Okay, so back to the Yeti hat. This hat I'm making for my brother. It is a design by Knittingsworth Designs and is the Believe in Yeti hat. I've shown this several times and I'm hoping to be done with this week. I'd love to be able to just sit down this evening and just finish it because I'm on the decreases. And I think the last time you saw it, I had finished the mountains here, and now I'm getting back into the decreases, which will show more motif kind of. I mean, it's not like this, but it's more like geometric instead of organic like the mountains. Yeah, so doing that, and then I will block this before I gift it to him just because I have so many floats and I know my tension is tighter in some areas, and I think it will make it look a lot nicer to block it. So I will do that before I gift it to him. I'm really excited to be finished with it. And of course, today is almost 70 degrees and it's going to be almost 70 degrees all week. I think it's supposed to drop a little bit more at the end of the week or onto this weekend. And I'm not praying for cold weather, but maybe 1 or 2 days where he could wear the hat. Because I was working on this at Christmas. Do you guys remember? I don't know, maybe I only showed it on TikTok, but I was like, hey, I'm making this hat. Do you think I can get it done in 2 days before Christmas? That was funny. It's March 10th. Okay, so I'm so close to being done and I love how it's turning out. It's so fun. I had to put it down for a while though because I was getting super tired of it, and now I'm getting excited about it again. And here are the floats. Those are always fun to look at. And we've got our Bigfoot and Bigfoot's foot. Bigfoot's Bigfoot. The yarn is KnitPicks Stroll, Tweed, Dove Heather, Dill, Marine, Pecan, Wellies, and that's all those colors. I love the colors, and I know my brother really likes it. He's also seen it because I've brought it to some games and he's seen me working on it. But I absolutely love the way it's turning up. And hopefully next video it will be a finished object. But we also know life happens and I get distracted easily, and you know, I work a full-time job and I have kids and, you know, all these things, and honestly I don't know how my knitting and crochet friends get so much done. I wish I could. That's all I think about: yarn, knitting, crochet, but somehow I just can't get it done like y'all get it done. So I will do my best to get this done, and I will be starting another project. No, I lied again. Man, I'm a liar. Okay, I'm not starting another project. I am finishing a project. Earth Tones Girl, I think that's her name, on Instagram. I don't know if she has a YouTube. She probably has a YouTube. I'll have to check that out. But Earth Tones Girl on Instagram has this make along for knitting socks, and I will put the hashtag on the screen, but I believe it's like I love books and knitting socks Cal 25. I think I got that right. Anyway, that is the hashtag that everyone's using, and what we're doing is like reading books and knitting socks. So I am currently reading Fire something. I'll post a picture of the book. Firebird? I think it's Firebird by Susanna Kearsley. And I've read several of her books. I love her books. They're so entertaining. And I don't like spicy books. I don't like smut. I don't like any of that stuff. But I love a good love story. You know, keep it clean. And hers are clean, and she does a lot with either time travel or, you know, she just has this historical fiction aspect to her writing, and it's just so entertaining. I love it because I do love historical fiction. So anyway, the goal is to read books and knit socks, and I was already knitting these socks, and they didn't match my book cover, and I really wanted to start another pair of socks. I don't know where the yarn went that I was going to use. Where'd it go? Oh, it's way up there. It's way up there. Anyway, I'm not going to start it, even though it's taken me a while to get through the book just because I'm doing other things. But the cover of the book matches this other yarn way better. And I think it would be fun to match the book with the yarn. A lot of people are doing that, and it's so fun to see all the pictures and all the projects that everyone's working on and everything that they're reading. But I really need to finish my Beetlejuice socks. You've seen them in lots of other videos, and they're not for me anymore. They're not fitting me very well, so I am going to make them for my other grandma, my grandma who taught me to knit. If you've been watching previous podcasts, I did make her the Catherine's cabled hat in a green color from a Joann's yarn. Like K&C essential wool is what it was made out of, I think. And that's in other videos. And I gifted it around Christmas time. But anyway, so she taught me to knit, and now I'm making her those socks. So I'm like at the toe on sock number 1. So I'd like to just whip through sock number 2. I think I've learned my lesson from the second pair of socks that I knit, that I should not wait so long in between because my tension changed way too much and I made too many mistakes because of that. I'm proud of the modifications I made to make them match, but I don't want to have to do that in the future. So I'm going to finish them as close together as possible. So even though it doesn't match my book, I am going to work on those socks while I'm reading this book. And if I finish those socks before I finish the book, then I will start another pair of socks in that other color that will match the cover of the book. But I will go ahead and put them, a picture of them side by side so you can see what I'm working on together. And then I'm going to go share that photo over on Instagram so the rest of the gang can see what I'm working on and what I'm reading. But I do not have any new yarn, I don't think. Oh my gosh. Yes, I do. I'll be right back. I went to the Fiber Festival. I went to the Jay County Fiber Festival and I got stuff. So I'll be right back. I cannot believe that I almost said that I didn't get any yarn. That's hilarious. Yes, I got yarn. I didn't go crazy, but I did get a couple hanks of yarn. And my friend Mackenzie from Made by Mac, she's got a podcast here. She's got an Etsy shop. She's on Instagram. I'll link everything below. I talk about her all the time. I took PTO. I took the day off on Friday, and I have fuzz in my mouth. And I went to the Fiber Fest, was going to just walk around by myself, and I ran into her. And then we walked around the rest of the time and were a total bad influence on each other, as you know, all of us are in the fiber community. And no, I'm just kidding. She was a great influence because she is going to help me. She said that I could borrow her little, I think she called it a nano small spinning wheel. And she's going to help me get started on some stuff. And then my aunt, she lives in Ohio, and so I don't see her a whole lot, but she and I are going to connect at some point, and she's going to show me a few things, and hopefully I'm going to learn to spin. So last year I did get some fiber because I was going to try a different craft with it. That ended up not happening, so I end up giving that to Mackenzie to do with what she wants. And then this year I picked up my own fiber to spin with the intention of spinning. And we stopped at Grilliant Creatives. And I got this bright pink. This is not bright enough. It's not showing it bright enough. I'm trying to get some light in here. I don't know if it's showing it bright enough. I feel like it's dark, but that's okay. This is hot pink. It's hot pink fiber. And I got it because I originally picked up this fiber. And this one is from AJem Fiber Arts. And these are both merino. This one, the color is called My Bad, and it's so fun. It's got neon orange and pinks and purples, and when it mixes together you get all kinds of other great colors. And I thought I could combine with this to make a nice mix. Nice, pretty, beautiful hand spun. So each of these are 4 ounces. Like I said, merino. Yeah, very pleased with it. I did go back. This next thing is probably my favorite thing that I've found there. And it is also from AJem Fiber Arts. This is a skein of her hand spun. It's so squishy soft. I love it. And it is superwash merino, bamboo, and nylon. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to make with this just yet, but I cannot wait to use it. It is so pretty. I love everything that's going on in here. This one is called Roses and Honeycomb, and there's 300 yards. And I would say this is probably a fingering to DK weight. It is just so pretty. I love the pinks and peaches in this. You know, there's bits of purple, there's some deep browns. Like even the pink is like kind of a hot pink in areas. Like, of course, the yellow honeycomb. It's so beautiful. I can't wait to use this. And this is one that's probably going to hang out in my stash for a while until I find the perfect project. Yeah, so there is that one. Oh no, I dropped it. Oh, bummer. Did I get fiber on my fiber? Okay, go back further. Okay. Also at Grilliant Creatives, which is where I got the pink, I just got a little mini skein. And this is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. It's a 20-gram skein. I thought the color was so pretty, and I thought this would make a fun heel toe cuff to go with some of my beautiful stuff I already have in my stash. So I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. And this doesn't have a name, but there was another hank of yarn that I was eyeing there. It was like an amethyst something or other. That was the name of it. And it looked really similar to this. And I decided to go for the fiber instead of the hank of yarn. And then I opted to get a mini skein to try out this colorway. So it may not be the exact colorway, but it looked similar. Really love that. I did pick up a couple of needles. I got me a 9-inch number 1. Yeah, number 1 2.25 millimeter clover circular knitting needle, and I got me a size 1 32-inch Chalgu circular needle because I'd like to work 2 at a time at some point. Right now I'm doing 1 then the other, but if I can do 2 at a time, then hopefully I won't have any tension issues. Oh my gosh. My cat started chewing on the bag. I don't think he or she got into my yarn though, thank goodness. It's gonna be mad. Okay, and again, I visited the Carol Makes yarn truck and picked out this hank of yarn. This is worsted weight, so I have more worsted to add to my collection because I don't have much of it. This is called Happy Dance. Happy Dance. You guys know that song? Mercy Me. I love that. And this is, it's a worsted weight 2-ply, 218 yards, 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. Yeah, I love the colors. It's giving Barbie at the beach vibes. I love Barbie. I love the beach. I love vibes. I love Barbie at the beach vibes. This is so fun. I'll probably make myself a hat because I need more hats, right? I probably don't need any more hats, but do I want more hats? Sure. Oh, funny thing about this. So when I ran into Mackenzie, she had already visited the truck. So I was like, yeah, I want to go in there. And so I went and I couldn't decide. I was looking at another colorway and then I was looking at this one and I was like, which one do I get? And then I was like, okay, I want to get this one. And she was like, I got that one in the, I think she got the fiber. I think she got the fiber in this one. No. She got the, did she sell fiber in this color? I thought she got fiber at that truck. You know what? I don't know. Mackenzie, you're going to have to share it on your podcast because now I can't remember. But now I'm thinking you probably got the sock weight in this colorway. Possibly. Anyway, we had a blast. I had a blast. I probably talked her ear off, but I had a blast. The last thing I got was from M1 Yarns. She also has a podcast here on YouTube, and she's over on Instagram and everything too. I got my first mohair silk hank of yarn. This also will probably stay in my stash for a while because it's like, I need the most perfect project. Ooh, it matches my shirt really well. I need the most perfect project to go with this. And I thought about making, because some people tend to be like allergic or sensitive to mohair, and I don't know if I am. So far, it feels pretty good, but I haven't like had it on me for any amount of time. With that being said, what I want to make, like I want it, like it's soft and I want it near my skin, but if it ends up being a problem, what I think I'll make with it is I will combine it with something to make one of the cowls that is drawstring, where I can wear it as a hat and drawstring the end and make it like a slouchy hat if I can't have it near my neck. So then I'm not like missing out on a project completely. Like I can still wear whatever I make, but I don't have to wear it next to my skin if I don't like it. And it would be a versatile project, end product per se. So I think that's what I'll probably do with this. I have not found anything specific, so if you know of a pattern kind of like what I'm describing, let me know and I'll check it out. But I think that's probably what I will do with this. Yeah, so this is called Spring Sunrise, and it's on the base Writing on Air, and it is 72% kid mohair, 28% silk. It's a lace weight, 450 yards, and it's 50 grams. And again, so pretty. And she had this colorway in a bunch of other different bases, but I really love how the neons in this like really kind of pop in areas, but you still get those deep, rich, dark colors. I love it. It's so pretty. Yeah. So I do believe that is all I got at the Fiber Festival. So I almost didn't show you guys. I cannot believe that. Yeah, so I think that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me. If you're a returning viewer, I love having you here. If you're new, welcome. Please like, subscribe, come hang out with me again. And I will see you in the next video. Have a blessed day. Bye.